Professor Obasi and Dr. Kachononoju represented Igbo Nation during the meeting to restructure Nigeria in Abuja a few days ago. The Igbo unification movement is so proud of Professor Obasi and Dr. Kachononoju for standing up for Igbo worldwide and protecting our interests. In the meeting, it states that the restructuring of Nigeria will be done by ethnocentric and ethno-linguistic, which means that every people that speaks the same language will be in the same region. And by that, the Igbos in the South-South, Southeast, and North-Central will be in the same region called Igbo region. Other ethnicities there, like Yoruba, all merged Yoruba in one Yoruba region, Ijos in Delta and other places in Ijo region, and so on. But when it got to the turn of Igbo, they merged Anioma people to be in Old Midwestern region, which means that Edo and Delta will be together as a region. They also said that Ikwere people in Rivers State will merge with other people in Rivers to be called Rivers Region. The Igbos in Kogi and Benue were merged with other regions up north. Only the Southeast was considered Igbo region. Professor Obasi and Dr. Kachononoju rejected it, saying that the restructuring of Nigeria is ethnocentric and ethno-linguistic and not political. Other people that speak the same language are together, but when it came to Igbo, they divided Igbo into pieces. Professor Obasi and Dr. Kachononoju demanded that no part of Igbo land in the South-South and North-Central will be ceded to other suggested regions during the meeting to restructure Nigeria in Abuja. And during the meeting, the Igbo representatives declared the meeting unacceptable and invalid. Igbo indigenous in all states in 13 states should speak up now in support of the position of Professor Obasi and Dr. Kachononoju. Yoruba people are the ones that are pushing for the restructuring of Nigeria because they know that if power leaves the hands of Tinubu, that it's no more for Yoruba people. And as they want to restructure Nigeria, they want to keep Igbo divided and scattered so that Igbo will not have access to the sea through Ikwere and Opobo in Rivers State. They want, if Nigeria goes back to regional government and restructuring, that Igbo should keep having identity crisis just like we're having now, and to weaken the economic strength and unity of Igbo. They want Igbo not to have access to the sea, so that Igbo will keep using the seaports in Lagos State, whether Yoruba leaves Nigeria or remains in Nigeria. Yoruba added the Yorubas in Kogi, Edo, and Delta to Yoruba region, but ended up mapping Igbo territories out of Igbo region, but they will fail. Anioma people were not consulted before being added to Midwestern region. It's for Igbo Nation to see the way they are attempting to keep us away from Igbo Nation, just like the British did in 1939. The Igbo Unification Movement, Indinasu Bia Sociocultural Organization, Ohaneze Igbo, and Igbo worldwide will never allow such to happen. No inch of Igbo land will be left behind for another region. Enough is enough. Remain blessed, Professor Obasi and Dr. Kachononoju. Igbo Nation are with you in this battle of liberation of Igbo.
In the village, and men will come out to talk. It's not done anywhere, not in Biafra land. That is why Chukwu Okike Abiama used our mothers to give us the boundary of Biafra, all the way from Edo State, all the way from Benue State, right down to the Atlantic Ocean. Anywhere they tie two-piece wrapper, that is the land of Biafra. And I will prove to you why that is the case. You know, some idiots are saying, oh, but you can't, hey, are you telling me it's just wrapper? I said, because you know nothing. Academically, you are nobody. Absolutely nobody. Because if you can see in the spirit, you will be able to appreciate what we are trying to teach you. Now, listen carefully. A nation state is a state in which, listen carefully, in which a great majority, listen, shares the same culture and is conscious of it. They did not say language. They did not say religion. They did not say social habits. They said, you must share the same culture. I repeat, not religion, not language, not social, they said culture. And you must be aware of it. The nation state, listen carefully to, go to Google and Google it. Define a nation. I'm coming. Listen carefully, please. A nation state is an ideal in which cultural boundaries match up with political boundaries. Do you understand it now? A nation is a place where the culture begins and ends. In other words, people that share the same culture, not the same language, not the same religion, but the same culture. And what is that one culture that binds the whole of Biafra together, regardless of where you come from? Because as I was doing my research, you know, it seems to me that Ishekiri is in doubt or in dispute. I saw the way that Ishekiri women dress. I looked at the way that Yoruba women dress. It's not the same. I looked at the way Ishekiri women dress. I looked at the way Efik women dress and it's the same. I looked at the way that Efik women dress. The way Igbo women dress is the same. I looked at how Igbo women dress. I looked at how a Banke dress is the same. I looked at a Banke. I looked at Hidoma. It is the same. I looked at Hidoma and I saw the same thing in Ejo. I saw the same thing in Urobo. I saw the same thing in Isoko. I saw the same thing. Everywhere you look, it is the same thing. Our mothers actually defined who we are, where we come from, and where we should be heading. Because they said to me that in Warri, you have the Olu of Warri, it is Yoruba. And I said to them, no, look at your mom. Your mom should tell you who you are. Because that is why people say, we speak our mother's tongue. What is your mother tongue? What is your mother's tongue? And I said to them earlier today in the post that I made on my Facebook page, and I said to them, if you want to know if you're a Biafran or not, go and look at your mom's wardrobe. I'm not asking you to go and start looking for your mother's underwear. I said, look at your mom's wardrobe. Look at her when she's dressed up to attend women's meeting. Look at your mother. Headscarf, blouse, two-piece wrapper. Two-piece wrapper. And where we come from, how you know a woman has just been married or newly married is the way she ties her two-piece wrapper. That's how you know a newly married woman. If you go to the village, you're struggling to find out who has been recently married. Look at the way they tie the two-piece wrapper. They can never get it right. It's an art. And this art is performed in Idoma, in Igala, in Igede, in Igbo land, all over. Of course, Anyoma is Igbo. Let me not even go there. All over in Ishekiri. It is there in Ishekiri. They tie two-piece wrapper. In Ejo, two-piece wrapper. Efik, two-piece wrapper, or on Eket, two-piece wrapper, headscarf and blouse everywhere. I posted it on my page and I asked people to tell me the difference. Tell me who are. They said, Igbo women, Igbo is every. I said, no, it is not. You are looking at your mothers from all over Biafra land. All over Biafra land. And they looked at the picture of a Yoruba woman. They saw the picture of a Fulani woman. Even Fulani do not dress like Hausa women. Hausa doesn't dress like Kanuri women. But we allowed ourselves to be balkanized. We allowed ourselves to be divided. We allowed ourselves to be ground into the dust by a combination of three deadly factors. Three. It was started by Britain. They taught Fulani. Fulani convinced Yoruba. They all ganged up against us. Their aim is to divide, so that when you're coming to Biafra land and you enter inside Benue, they say, oh no, this is not. Oh. But look at your mother and look at the way they dress in Sokoto. Is it the same? The people that they're telling you is more closely related to you. You don't have anything in common. I don't even want to go to the fact that in Idoma land, in 280 years ago in Idoma land, when they came, they killed and they pillaged Idoma land. The Janjaweed came. What is happening now has happened before. It has happened 3 times in our history. They went to Yoruba land and they took Ilorin from them. They came to our land. They never succeeded. They only managed to take some parts of Igala. Only the northern part of Igala. But the southern part of Igala remained very strong. They couldn't take them to Sokoto. And many men died in that very war. If you're from Anambra State and you have an elderly man tonight in Anambra, anybody who is over 100 years old in Anambra and a man that has got all the thinking faculties intact, go to him and ask him, did your father ever tell you, or people, is there any legend in your village that there was a time there were no men in the Idoma land, that Igbo men had to go to Idoma land to impregnate the women to give birth to sons and to daughters according to the Bible? What the Bible said should happen. Did that ever happen or not? Ask any elderly man in Anambra right now, over 100 years old and can articulate properly. Ask him, did you ever hear of people, men from Anambra going into Idoma land and Enugu and Anambra going to Idoma land to go and make sure that their women procreate to give birth to the next generation of Idoma or not? Ask them. And you'll be shocked. And as they are dividing us and they are coming, they divide and they conquer you. As they are divided, they carved off Idoma, they carved off Igede, they conquered them, say, oh, you're part of the North. Ask them, what is the title of the overall traditional ruler of Idoma land? He is called Ochi Idoma. Ochi Idoma means Onye na-achi Idoma. A simple Igbo word. Ochi, somebody, a ruler. Onye na-achi. Ochi Idoma is called. And as I said about 2 weeks ago, or should I say a week ago, they have 4 market days. The name of their first child, a girl, is Ada. And somebody who is answering Fatima from Mali, all the way from Mali, will come into Idoma. Hey, Igbo man is your problem, oh. And you that is telling that Igbo man is your problem, he cannot even differentiate between an Igbo woman and an Idoma woman, or an Igbo woman and the Igede woman. They cannot tell. Because when they start killing you in the north, they are pursuing women wearing a blouse and 2-piece wrapper. They're not going to ask you, oh, are you Igbo? They will kill everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a John. It doesn't matter if you're Ishekiri. It doesn't matter if you're Urobo. Because you will tie 2-piece wrapper. That's how you know a responsible mother in Biafra land. Before you get married, you can be tying that wrapper that is like above the knee. Once you're married, you go 2-piece wrapper, isn't it? That's how you know a responsible married woman. Is that not correct? Now you tell me why somebody selling Fura Dununu, wearing a Fulani Peteri, will now convince you that you are not related to an Igbo person. Whereas your own mother and an Igbo woman is exactly the same. And you also circumcise on the 8th day after a male child is born. Why I'm saying all these things this evening is to try and prove to you that our boundaries are well defined. Our boundaries reside in our mothers. Because Biafra is a motherland, it's not a fatherland, it is a motherland. Our women, they are like a vessel. They contain everything you need to know about Biafra. If you're intelligent enough, if you're attentive enough, if you're understanding enough, if you can get away from Yoruba media disastrous brain damage, you will understand what I'm saying and what I'm telling you. Therefore, now let me ask you this question. Is a majority of Nigerians, they share the same culture? The answer is no. Even Kanuri in the north. The only thing tying Kanuri to Fulani is religion, is Islam. The only thing, two things tying Awusa to Fulani, their women don't even dress the same. The only thing tying Awusa to Fulani is language, Hausa language, and religion. That's all. Do they have anything, any cultural affinity in the answer is no. The Fulanis, they have MS. You don't have MS in Brano. It was when the Fulanis came that they introduced the MS. Before the Fulanis came, they had the shape of Brano, not an MS. Before the Fulanis came, the Hausas had kings, not MS. So even culturally, they have nothing in common. Absolutely nothing in common. But the collective idiocy and stupidity of the native nations within the contraption called Nigeria is what gave Fulani the leeway to be doing what they're doing. And we must all be wiser. That is why they have decimated the Middle Belt. And now they are coming to the east. And as they are coming, you will not hear any Yoruba newspaper write about it or say that what is happening is bad. I have been trying to read an editorial from a Yoruba newspaper condemning what the Janjaweed are doing in their march down south. I have not seen it anywhere. Which goes to show that Yoruba media are working with them to conquer us. And that is why I am angry with them. That is why I vent my frustrations. And I tell them. And they say, oh, he hates Yoruba. No, I don't. I hate your media. I hate their lies. And I hate what they're doing. Because one day you will get it. They know if they attack Yoruba land first, that I will give order and command to men. Men will go and fight alongside Yoruba men. But the Fulanis, they know that if they attack the east first, they know Yoruba will not come. They know that very well. Because Yoruba is half Christian and half Muslim. Are you telling me that Muslims are fighting jihad in the east? And the Yoruba Muslim will allow other Yorubas, Christians, to go and fight in the east? Of course not. Of course not. Now you understand the dilemma the Yoruba nation is in. And I have been able to prove to you tonight that the only thing that binds a nation together is cultural affinity. And they must be conscious of it. It is that consciousness that the white man removed through Willings Commission. It is that consciousness that Fulani removed through waging this war of Cross River State, of River State. And I will come to that later. Have you ever wondered or asked yourself the reason why all our states are named after a river, but not in the north? Do you have any river Sokoto in the north? Any river Katsina in the north? Any river Kanu in the north? Are you telling me they don't have rivers? Do you have any river Medugri or river Prono? Why is it that, have you ever asked yourself that question? Why is it in the south, they always name us after our own river? The rivers that we named, they now give the name back to us. Anambra is a river. Imo is a river. They even named us after a tributary. Delta. They don't have any name in Igbo, they just said rivers. Rivers, just river anywhere. On the other side is Cross River, which is River Cross. Have you asked yourself why? I will tell you tonight. The reason why they name you after river was what the white man told the Fulani to do. Can't you see? We came here and we named you Nigeria because it made it easier for us to control you. If I give you a name that has no meaning, if I name you after a river that you actually named, now we are giving you the name, it means you cannot look beyond that river for your history and who you are. I'll give you another example. We are the Israelites over the years. Despite all the persecution, they never abandoned Israel or the word Jew, which means somebody who comes from Judea. Imagine the level of persecution Israelis went through all over the world. Imagine if the world had succeeded in taking away that name from them, Jew. What would have become of them today? That was exactly what the white man did. Now, when the white man was leaving, the British people were very, very clever. Do you know why? They said, for us to continue to control Nigeria the way it is, we need idiots in power. And for us to have idiots in power, we need to subdue the only people that gives problem, the only people that don't like slavery, the Igbo people. Understand this very well. Do you know why? Because all the British colonies in the West Indies, it's always Igbo slaves that rose against their master. All the rebellion. Do you know it was an Igbo man that defeated Napoleon to gain Haiti's independence? So they ganged up and said, no, you see, don't allow them, oh, never, oh, Igbo, hey, no, don't allow them. Do you see where the hatred is coming from? It's not that they hate us for the sake of it. British told them, if these people are industrious, they are blessed by God. By Igbo, I mean the whole of Biafra. For your information. For your information. If you don't know Urobo is Igbo, go and check your history. Go and check their names. Everything I tell is gospel. Go and check it now. The same way they're telling us that Asaba is that Anyama is not Igbo. Idiots. And they're in the minority. The thing is that they have the backing of Yoruba media and the finance from the Fulani. Go and destroy yourselves. Go back to your villages and destroy them. And that's what they're doing. With with one idiot running around America, flaying me with an expired constitution. I want you to understand their game before I tell you why they are coming into our land to kill us. Now you're following me, aren't you? Now you understand their game, don't you? Now you see where they are going. Now you're following, isn't it? Now, because Biafra is the only nation you have, because Biafran people are industrious, we are geniuses. Mechanics are born from the stomach. Scientists are born. Our mothers give birth to us, and we are doctors. We don't have to go to school. Nobody can take it from us. That's how Elohim made us. Chukwokika created a Biafran woman to give birth to scientists, to give birth to rebels, those who will say no to injustice. That's how we are. And to break that, the white man brought the Willings Commission. Overnight they said, oh, there are minorities in the East, oh, let's break them. But there are no minorities in the West. People forgot that if not for the conquest, war of conquest, from Oyo Empire, the Elijahs and the Jebus will not be Yoruba today. It was conquest, war. They're not the same people. They're not. They're not the same. They are not the same people. But they saw us how our culture is there. You know, Elohim is wonderful. Elohim have been saying, I wish they can see. I wish they can see. Until God in heaven gave us the revelation. Why are you bothering yourself? Suffering yourself? You want to drum up here. You want to drum up there. Go and beg them. Elohim said, don't beg anybody to join Biafra. Do not beg them. But instead, tell them the bitter truth. Make them angry. Tell them the truth. And they will see the stupidity of their ways. They will understand that you are all one. I made you one. Elohim said, ask them to watch every Sunday morning. Or meeting, August meeting of women. Watch them. Look at the way you marry women. Is it not the same thing across the board? Everywhere I'm asking. Is it not the same thing? Don't your daughters dress the same way? Are you not the same people? Go and look at your mothers the way they dress. The same way they dress in Idoma, in Lower Benue. Is that not how they dress in Ejo, in the coast? Is it not the same dressing? If you are different people, why would I dress your mothers the same way? And I knelt down and I said to Elohim, I bless your holy name. He said, what map are you looking for? Keep traveling. Keep traveling, he said. Narinjam, keep traveling. Anywhere they stop tying two-piece wrapper, that is my boundary. That is the land I gave to your ancestors to inhabit. And you're a nation because you share a cultural affinity and you are conscious of it. And today I'm explaining to the whole world that we may all become conscious of it. Because a nation state is ideal. Perfect nation are those that have cultural boundaries that match up with their political boundaries. We are not asking for anybody else. We are asking for our own, because I don't want my children or their children's children to go and fight the Fulani, because they will always be on the warpath. That is their nature. That is who they are. Ever since they came to the zoo, in fact, they are marked from Futajalon. Always war. Always war. They will be warring. If there is nobody to fight, they start fighting themselves. Look at what Boko Haram is doing. I don't want tomorrow, you see, these two boys that Elohim gave me, we are fighting for them and their generation. Then they will now have to get up to go and fight to reclaim Idoma land from Fulani, or to fight to reclaim Igede from Fulani. That is why we are saying it. So that after now, when we have finished preaching this gospel and Biafra comes, if you don't want to be able to, you go. But I'm telling you, we will write it in Biafran constitution. Any day, because the Fulanis will come to take you, any day they come and take your land, and you come and say, oh, come and help us. Thunder from hell will fire you and you will die. The same way I'm telling you now was what I told Igbo people in America. I've been preaching it on Radio Biafra for years. I said to them that the Fulanis are coming. They will come. Oh, you're a madman. I said, but they are coming. Now the guy is mad. He has lost his mind. I said, they are coming. Have they not come? Have they not come? And the Yoruba media, in their wickedness and evil, in order to twist your mind, to so that they know it's only Nnamdi Kanu that Elohim sent to this very job. They know it very well. Today I read in paper today, I was laughing. They said he is what did they say? They said he is psychologically flawed. Yoruba is writing. Yoruba is writing to help our South. Not, I'm sorry. How's that? I'm very sorry. Fulani, to help Fulani to come in to conquer us. Yoruba people are writing in Lagos and in Abuja, because they know that only Nnamdi Kanu can rally men, and they will stand. So what Yoruba is doing is trying to attack me. Attack me. Keep attacking Nnamdi Kanu, so that useless and stupid Igbo idiots. Idiots are called them. In America, they are idiots. Complete grade 1 idiots. That's what I call them. Those Igbo idiots in America. The ones that we are looking up to fund the defense of our land. What Yoruba is doing is to twist their mind. After twisting their mind, they will now say, oh no, there's no need. And then they're streaming in. And you ask yourself, Yoruba, if as you're writing against Nnamdi Kanu, you're also complaining that what the Fulanis are doing by bringing their army to Biafra is not good, I can understand. But do you see how they are quiet on that front? Do you see how no Yoruba Papa is talking about it? Do you know why they're not talking about it? They want you to hate Nnamdi Kanu. Once you hate Nnamdi Kanu, and he get, of course, I won't get frustrated, and or maybe they're hoping I'll get frustrated, and I'll say to hell with you people. Then Fulani will come into our land and take it, and they will share it with Yoruba. They've got it into three. They share with Yoruba. Do you see what they're doing?